Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Jo number ELP-208-EBF DU steel latch protector for use with electric strikes, incorporating EBF fasteners. And let's go over all of that right now. First of all, this is a latch guard, obviously. This is a latch guard where you're going to have a mortise cylinder, well, or some sort of cylinder, I suppose, and a recessed cavity to allow you to fit the keeper of an electric strike and have it covered by the latch protector. Okay. This is a latch protector used with electric strikes. EBF fasteners is how this unit is. Now, what that basically is, you have a couple of carriage bolts. Obviously, these are just typical, not obviously, but these are typical and common carriage bolts. What makes these special is the head on the other side. It's very thin so that when you install the bolt on the opposite side of the door, they're specifically intended to not produce any sort of conflict with other hardware that you would have, especially the frame. So the bottom line is such a small, thin head on the screw is intended to not interfere with the stop of the frame so that the door will continue to operate correctly. EBF fasteners, that's what these are. They're sex bolts is what they are. That will incorporate a quarter 20 carriage bolt on the one side, then an Allen drive female portion to the sex bolt. Okay, and of course there's two of them. Therefore, from the exterior, you're not presented with anything you can really tamper with, just the head of a carriage bolt. Now, the idea of the ELP-208 is that it completely encases the keeper of an electric strike for maximum protection. This is going to be used with mortise, locks, well, any sort of lock, mortise locks, cylindrical locks, mortise exit devices, anything where you're using an electric strike. Okay, available with or without the cylinder hole. This will obviously include it, and then EBF fasteners. Now, let's give you some dimensions. There is a link below this video to a document called templates. Let's tackle that first. 8 inches the overall height of this plate. And overall width is about 3 11/16. Okay. Now, really what we want is the width on the back side of the door flange. You're about 2 1/16. So from out here, as per the template, it's showing about 1 13/16. Yeah, 1 7/8. I'm corrected. It's going to give you the location of the cylinder hole, which is right in the center at 4 inch. That's 1 7/16 diameter on the cylinder hole. You can kind of judge that there on the camera a bit. Yeah, about 1 7/16. Okay. Now, there is on this plate, so this will have an 1/8 of an inch what they call offset, and what I'm trying to call out, even though it's really not drawn very well at all, because they don't give a side view or a cross section. But the 0.125 offset is a reference to how this is not flush with this. That is to allow for the fact that the door will sit inside of the frame in a typical hollow metal application or an aluminum storefront application where you have an inset door. And those insets can be 1/8 of an inch, they can be 3/32. But the fact of the matter is, if you had an inset door and this plate did not account for that inset, you'd never get the door closed. It's just simply the bottom line. The door would never latch because this would be making contact with the frame. Now, I'm going to give you some dimensions of the clear inside opening of the area for the keeper. So you're about 1.5 inches in the width. That's pretty much usable. In the height, you're looking at about 7 3/4. Now the depth is the next question. Usable depth, yeah, it looks like it's about 11/16, but let's get real accurate with that, because you're going to be out in the field trying to determine if this is going to work based on these dimensions. Yeah, about 11/16 inside depth you'll have to work with. So you'll have the inset. This will be flush with the face of the frame, but then you've got 11/16 inside of there. Okay. The DU finish, that is what's called Duranodic. It's a powder coat. Powder coating is generally done over the least expensive material. Since it's powder coated, this happens to be manufactured of steel, as you can see. So lots of heat, electrical charge, makes a very durable sort of finish on the steel plate, powder coating. Also available in SL or silver, that would be a powder coat as well. Now, moving on, where are you going to use this? Well, you're going to have a cylinder, so it's likely going to be an aluminum storefront door where you have an electric strike along with, just a dead latch. You could obviously be using this with a mortise exit device where you have an electric strike and you have a cylinder to allow exterior access and maybe a separate pull handle, things of that nature. Outside of that, you might have well, nothing else really comes to mind where else you'll use it. But you're going to use it with a mortise or a rim cylinder, probably a mortise cylinder, because your lock will be inside of the edge of the door if you're using an electric strike. There is a link below this video to a document called Product Catalog. Now that's very handy because it will show you all things latch protector related from Donjo. Now, speaking of latch guards from Donjo, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page. Now from there, you can pull up not only all the Donjo products that we sell, but a link to the manufacturer's website, along with a link to the full product catalog. But because that's a large and unwieldy document, we've got subsections of the full catalog above there. You'll notice that they do a lot more than just what they're known for, which really is latch protectors and door reinforcing wraparound plates. You're going to see that they do door stops and kick plates and push and pull hardware. They've got filler plates and signage. They have ladder pulls, and they've got a nice quality hinge and pivots and door controls. They are a comprehensive provider of trim and auxiliary hardware, as a matter of fact, not just latch guards and door reinforcers, but those two line items, along with extended lip strike plates, where you might run into needing those occasionally. Donjo's a name that you should consider reviewing prior to making a purchase. If you have any questions on the Donjo ELP-208-EBF and a DU finish, steel latch protector for use with electric strikes, or any other Donjo product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.